Well, hi everybody. I think I'm gonna let you in on me cooking me a little bit of supper tonight. My eyes have been really bothering me. My chest has been bothering me all day after being out in the garden yesterday, spreading that black cow because I'm allergic to all that stuff when I breathe it. But I don't want to wear a mask because then I'm even hotter if I wear a mask. But anyway, I am getting ready to cut up a couple of potatoes you can use any kind of potatoes. You can use red potatoes, regular white potatoes, anything. And I'm just peeling a couple of them. I'm not even really using my cutting board, am I? But this is an old-fashioned recipe. Not really a recipe, I don't guess, but it's the way people used to fix a potato and sausage dish years ago. So I guess you could say it's an old-fashioned recipe. I mean, anytime you put ingredients in anything, it's a recipe, isn't it? Or it turns into a recipe. And you can fix as much or as little as you want. It's just me, so I don't want too awfully much. When my allergies start really bothering me like they did since I've been out in the yard for 2 nights trying to get stuff done in the garden and breathing all that dust that I stir up with the black cow and the potting mix and all that other stuff, it really starts bothering me. So it's made me basically sick all day today. But I wanted to do this, and I said, well, I'm going to fix this for supper tonight, so I'll go ahead and film it. And I'm just dicing up my potato. You can cut it any way you want. And I'm going to wash my potatoes and wash my cutting board off a little bit. Because I am going to cut up my sausage there too. And I've probably fixed this dish before with a different type of sausage or something. I'm not sure. But now this is it's a form of a kielbasa sausage that I prefer. It's leaner than the other sausages, and it's pork and venison. I don't know if you can see that, but it's pork and venison. And I'm not going to use the whole thing because, like I said, it's just me, and I'm just fixing enough to eat for supper tonight. And I'm just cutting it in like 1/4 inch thick slices to go in my potatoes. And since I've already washed my potatoes, I'm going to dump that right in there. And I'm going to use a little bit of onion. See, I didn't use much of the sausage at all. And I'm not going to use but 1 slice of onion. And it doesn't matter how you cut it up. Cut it up the way you want it. I just kind of dice mine. Like I said, I'm just dumping it all in that same bowl because it's all going in the same place. There's my scrap bowl. Oh, and you know what I forgot? I forgot my garlic. I picked garlic out of my garden. So I do have a little bit of fresh garlic. And I think I'll just cut it up. I won't bother to use the cutting board for it. You can tell I'm not feeling very good. My allergies are really kicking my butt after being out in the garden last night and the night before. But I got little pearl onions. See my little pearl onions that I pulled out of the tower? I got a handful of them, and I got a whole plate full of garlic. I'm just going to kind of slice it in there. It'll cook down to nothing anyway, so it doesn't matter. Don't need much. I'm going to put this away. I don't need it out anymore. And we'll come over here. Got to get my cooking oil. And I'm using grapeseed oil this time. We don't need much of that either. Turn the exhaust fan on. Oh, me. Let my pan get hot. And I just dump all of that mixture right in there. And I am going to put just a little bit of garlic salt. And a little bit of black pepper. For those of you that do not like garlic, don't put garlic in it. You don't have to put garlic in there. Forgot to put that other light on. That might help. Might help just a little bit. Oh, that water is so good. But this is a dish, you can use the potatoes, the onions, you could put pieces of beef in there if you want. Pieces of chicken in there and fried. And back in the frontier days, that's exactly what they did. They cut up their potatoes, they put it in their frying pan with their onions, their seasonings, and then they added whatever meat they had available. They may have even cooked meat that day earlier and had a big hunk of beef left over or something, and they would cut it up and throw it in the pan right along with your potatoes. So it's not just for sausage. I mean, you can do this for a breakfast meal. You know, throw your sausage in there and cook it. And you've got sausage and potatoes, fried potatoes to go with your eggs in the morning. Or, like I said, you can take whatever meat you have left over from maybe the meal the night before, like beef, chicken, anything like that. But it's a real easy meal. You got a little bit of meat, you got your potatoes, you got some onion in there. And you can have greens on the side if you'd like. And that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to eat, I won't eat all of this. I'll just eat part of it, maybe half of it. And then I'll put some greens on the side and eat those with it because I've already got some of those cooked. And a lot of times I would fix me a couple of cornbread fritters to go with it if I wanted to. I think I've even got some okra that I can use. Let's see if I got enough to cook. I've been picking it and putting it in the vegetable bin down here. Saving it up to get enough to cook, and I think I got enough to make a little pan of okra. Needs to be washed off. So I think while my potatoes and my sausage are cooking, I'll go ahead and start this small pan of okra to cook. Very organized today. Trying to get a small pan. There, that one will be big enough. But I'll bring the camera back over here so you can see what I'm doing. First of all, I am going to get a little bit of cornmeal out. And a little bit of flour to put in that bowl. And like I told y'all, I don't deep fry anything anymore, I don't think. It's like I need to fill my flour jar up. I bought some, I just haven't put it in there yet. I probably don't need to need that much, but put it in there anyway. I'm going to put garlic powder or garlic salt. You know, that's what I season with all the time. Like I said, just use plain salt if you don't like garlic. Just use plain salt and pepper. Mix that all around. It's just flour and cornmeal. I put about a quarter of a cup, not quite quarter of a cup of flour, and a couple of tablespoons of cornmeal. Now, all I'm going to do basically is cut my okra. I get my knife dry because I threw it in the sink. I cut the tips of it off. That'll be good in compost. Yeah, I don't usually deep fry anything anymore. I don't want to use that much grease, and I think you get enough grease in your food as it is, so even if you shallow fry it, so that's what I'm going to do with this. And I'm just going to slice it up just like you would if you went to KFC or Chicken Express or anywhere else and got your okra. I'm going to throw it right in there, in with my flour mixture. I love okra, but I cannot eat it if it's in soup or anything like that where it's real slimy. I can't handle it. I can even eat it raw, but I can't eat it in a soup. I mean, that's just my preference, is to not eat it in a soup. So just cut your stems off and basically chop your okra up. Yes, there. Now you can see my bowl. And that's not a whole lot of okra, but you got to remember, I'm one person, so I don't have to plant a ton of okra to get enough to go with a meal. I mean, unless I was going to cook for a lot of people, then I wouldn't have enough. Now I'm just going to stir it around in there a little bit, because you know I washed the okra and it's already a little bit wet. Not too terribly wet, but it is wet a little bit. So that's the way I coat my okra when I go to cook it. You can put just a tiny bit of water in it if you want, or wet your okra a little bit more to get the batter to stick better. Either way. Probably never seen anybody do it this way. But then, you know, hey, I don't think anybody does anything the way I do it. We'll move you back over here. I got to turn my potatoes. I don't want them to burn. If they haven't already burnt. Yeah, they're starting to. Could turn the burner down just a tiny bit. Piece of sausage that flew out. And I'm going to cover it so I know those potatoes get cooked done. Turn the heat down. Put me some oil in my pan for my okra. And I'm just finishing coating this, that's all. And if you prefer to deep fry it, go right ahead and deep fry it. I prefer not to. Get that hot. I'm just getting me a dish over here to put my okra in. Some paper towels. And I may have to add oil because I can't get them all in there and fry them the way I want them, so at one time. And see how all of that cornmeal and all of that flour basically has coated my okra. All of that's brown nice. I like it brown. Some of you may not like it that brown, but I do. So if you don't like it that brown, then don't cook it that brown. You know, your potatoes and stuff. I haven't been getting much out of the garden because, you know, as you saw, my squash plants were eaten alive by the squash borer bugs and stuff. I only got a couple of zucchini before the zucchini plant died. The bugs just devoured it. So I bought some more insecticide that I'm going to use on the rest of them when I plant them. So. I don't know how anybody else coats their okra, but that's the way I do mine. I mean, some of you may like a little bit more bread on yours. You know, that's up to you. Put more on there if you want. I got my onions a little brown. I didn't intend to get them that brown. I just let it get away from me trying to get the okra started too. So I get over anxious and I want to turn this stuff too quick. It needs brown. But this is some old-fashioned cooking right here. They'd have okra if they had it, potatoes with sausage and onion, and they'd have some kind of greens on the side. Nothing fancy. And there went an okra down in the stove. I'm going to have to get that out later. So I don't end up with ants down in my stove after a piece of okra. But see, I cut my okra as it's ready to be cut, even though I don't have a lot of it, and I just throw it in the vegetable bin down in the bottom of the refrigerator till I get enough like this that I have enough to cook. That way I don't have to have 100 plants out there to get enough okra off of it to cook. Got my finger hung in the little circle of the handle. And I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Let it just sit there and steam for a little bit, because it's done. You've probably got your favorite way to batter your okra, no doubt. Put just a tiny bit more oil in there. And I'm going to add the rest of my okra. And see, all of that meal has just stuck to my okra pieces. And see, I cook my okra in batches when I get enough of it, and I put it in a container and just put it in the refrigerator or the freezer, whichever. Depends on how much I have. But if I have just a bowl like this when it's finally cooked, I just leave it in the refrigerator, because then I take it out, put it on my plate, and put it in the microwave and heat it up. I still got one bowl of cabbage soup in there that needs to be eaten. But see, I've got a helping of greens that I'm just going to pop in the microwave. I had to open my door, y'all. There was a wasp on the screen. So I wanted him outside. I didn't want him left in here. So I opened the door and he flew out. That okra looks good. I have to try these. Pretty good. But there's my greens heated up. Can you tell I like fried okra? I love fried okra, as long as it's not so hard. You know, some places I've been that I've gotten fried okra on their menu. And it's been so hard you couldn't bite into it. I don't know what they did to it other than frying it, but I don't want my okra so hard and crispy I can't bite it. But there y'all go. That is my old-fashioned country supper tonight. I've got potatoes with sausage and onion. I've got fried okra, fresh okra, and I've got fresh cooked Swiss chard with salad greens mixed in. So that's a pretty healthy meal right there, even though it was fried, because, you know, I did fry it in grapeseed oil. And I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of this out, because it is cooked enough for me. And as you can see, that was enough for 2 people, actually. I don't want to get on this hot oven. Sometimes I sit up here at the bar and I eat. Usually have my candle going. But there it is, y'all. A good old-fashioned meal right there. Old-fashioned sausage and potatoes with greens and fried okra. Y'all take a bite. Don't that look good? I gotta try it. Oh yeah, it's so good. Have some fried okra, y'all. Don't that look good? Take a bite. That is so good. Oh my God. And I forgot to bless the food. I guess I was getting hungry. So we'll go ahead and do that now. Dear Lord, bless this food I'm about to eat. Bless all the YouTubers out there in YouTube land. Keep them safe, happy, and I can't say wealthy, because how do you wish wealth on people? I think if you're healthy, your family's healthy, and, well, maybe debt-free and trouble-free, put it that way, I think you have a lot to be thankful for. Because if you got good health, you've got a lot. So with that, I'm going to end my prayer. Amen. And try some of my Swiss chard with my salad greens. And y'all take a bite. It's real good. Y'all, old-timey people knew what they were doing. Have another bite of sausage and potato. They knew a lot about what they were doing when they come up with the meals that they cooked when they had basically really nothing to make it with. They improvised. They took a few ingredients and made a good meal out of it. That's good. I have another piece of okra. Well, that was so good, y'all. But, y'all, look in your refrigerator. You might think you don't have anything to eat. But, you see what I'm eating? I had potatoes, a little bit of sausage, leftover greens, and a handful of okra. And I made a real good meal out of it. So with that, I'm going to finish eating my dinner. Please like, share, and subscribe to my videos. Y'all have a blessed evening. I'll see you later. Bye now.